Youth Services Network is holding their 7th annual conference on March 21st with the winner of a contest related to that event representing Guam as the youth keynote speaker. So we'll get into that in a moment. Now here to tell us more about the network and the upcoming forum are board members George Salas and Kat Tolosa. Kat is also the secretary for the organization. So Hafide, and welcome to KUAM News Extra.
Thank you, and thank you for having us on the show.
Okay, good to have you here. And interested to talk about this because the Micronesian Youth Services Network kind of took a hiatus. Of course, and well, when did it start, and when did you guys kind of take a break and come back?
It actually started in around 1989, 1990, and then in 2005, which we actually had a mini conference, and it's almost like the rebirth of the organization, the network. And we started a mini conference here in Guam in 2005, and we invited some of our friends from the neighboring islands. And the CNMI saw the interest, and they say, hey, we want to do this next year. Can you bring it over to Saipan? So we took it there in 2006. And then Palau was involved in 2006, came to the CNMI, and they say, hey, why don't you bring this to Palau? So we brought it to Palau in 2007, and we decided to bring it back home in 2008. And then in 2009, CNMI once again said, can we have it again? So we gave it to them. And then in the CNMI in 2009, we had representatives that came in from the FSM, the Federated States of Micronesia, particularly the Secretary of the Pacific Community, SBC. So in 2009, first time we went into Ponape. And then in 2010, then in 2011, we want to bring it back home. So we're actually hosting it this time. Guam appears to be the home base for this. Because it was a group of people that actually are from here that brought this thing to start. For example, like the late Senator Herminia Durkin, of course, Sarah Thomas Netidog, and of course we had some interested individuals from Palau, and also the Marshall Islands and Chuuk State. So now it's up and going. It's very well known. We are a member of the National Network for Youth, based out in DC, and we are so well known and spread out throughout Micronesia right now.
I would love to see how many frequent flyer miles you guys have, because you guys have been all over.
Yes.
Okay, so Kat, as secretary and a board member, youth services is very broadly defined and everything like that. What type of specific services do you offer and do you oversee?
For the Micronesian Youth Services Network, we offer networking with each other. Basically, if a youth service provider from, let's say, the Republic of Marshall Islands would like to have or establish a program for emergency shelter for the youth, we as MISN can provide a technical assistance. We can reach out to Guam and say, hey, can you guys help RMI, the Republic of Marshall Islands, in establishing that program so that they can better provide services to the youth there. And it's somewhat a very ignored situation where we, as Micronesians, we kind of oversee the fact that we do have talents in Micronesia. So instead of looking in and digging deeper for some local talents, we go out and reach out to the mainland and see if they have the resources that we might actually have in the area.
Okay.
And this is also another time where a lot of the service providers are able to meet on a yearly basis, and this is where we all exchange ideas, gather information, share the resources, because you'd be surprised all the many professionals and experts that we have throughout Micronesia, and when we meet on a yearly basis, it's like a domino effect as to, oh, this is what this island can offer to that island, this is what we can do for your island. And we try to stay focused with the presenting issues that islands are actually facing, and every island has a different issue. For example, homelessness is very critical in a lot of the islands, so we focus a lot on that. Human trafficking, the abuse of drugs and alcohol. And it's a very big thing, and everybody's so excited to gather once again here in Guam. We all are, since Guam is the one hosting it this time. We're really working diligently and non-stop to making sure that we get this thing going. So that's what's going to happen. In addition to that, we also recognize the top 10 youth service supporters of the year throughout Micronesia. So we invite these people to come in so we can honor them, as well as our sponsors, because you know how it is, Jason, every conference you need to have some sponsors.
Sure.
So we have the awards and banquet on the evening of the 20th at the Government House. So
okay, well, I'll tell you what, unfortunately we got to wrap up. So Kat, real quick, how can people register for the conference, and is there a fee involved?
Yes, actually, they can go ahead and go online to www.mysnetwork.org. They can go ahead and go to the Regional Annual Conference tab, download the application form there, and go, fill it out. They can fax it to our treasurer, Ms. Antoinette Bautista, at 477-3117, and they can call her at 475-7101.
All right, beautiful. So George Salas and Kat Tolosa, we'll see you at the conference. Thanks very much for the information.
thank you, too.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned.